Well, hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. This is a show where we like to talk that real talk, things that are happening in education, employment, physical health, mental health, social services. We've done episodes about being a child of divorce, being a divorcee. What else have we talked about? We talked about financial planning. We did a whole series of episodes on ADHD. We've done um, an episode about deafness. We've done episodes on, I'm trying to recall, about essential oils. We've done a variety of episodes, and we like to talk about things that are steamy. But we also like to talk about things that will educate you because we're all about learning and education here at Hot Topics. So I am excited about this topic because it is a repeat topic and it is in my wheelhouse, right? So we're bringing it back. So today's topic is Talking with Tutors Part 4. I am excited that we've actually reached Part 4, Talking with Tutors. And we are here talking about the tutoring industry and what got people started and what have they learned and the pros and cons and the challenges and the successes. So I'm looking forward to this discussion. So it's I've you know I'm here going to talk to another colleague about the tutoring industry, and I'm excited to be talking about that again. So we are bringing this topic back again, and I have a guest with me who is going to sit on the hot seat. Her name is Ann Mitchell, and I can't wait to tell you about her. So let me tell you about her. Who is Ann Mitchell? Let me tell you about her. So Ann Mitchell is the owner of Castle Rock Online Tutoring Read. Wait, I think I'm saying it wrong. Ann Mitchell is the owner of her company called Castle Rock Online Reading Tutor. Okay. And she is the founder of Online Reading Tutor Academy. Her mission is to help parents, teachers, and tutors become confident in knowing that they can support their struggling elementary readers. I am committed to building a I'm so sorry. I am committed, not I, she is committed to building a foundation for lifelong learning, confidence, and a love for academics. I'm sorry, I'm just going to silence my phone. Okay. Join her as she supports your struggling reader and the village behind them. Fabulous. All right, so I am going to bring Anne to the stage.
Hi.
Boy, how you doing today?
Wow, very well. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank
Oh,
you.
all right. So, welcome to the show. Welcome to the hot seat. Um, so we're here, we're going to talk about your life journey and what got you here. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started. I'll start off with something simple. What made you want to be a tutor?
Wow. My background has just been lifelong, actually. Um, my husband and I are previous military personnel. So he retired in 2006 in Japan, and we moved here. But prior to that, I taught in the Dodd School in Japan. And while my kids were growing, I have 4 children. Um, my 2 oldest, and then we had 2 twins. And the twins actually had their own little language going on when they were little. Um, so that kind of sparked me into getting into the education field. As they were in preschool, they had a learning plan, And I actually returned to college once they all were in school and got my master's in special education. So once we all moved back here and we landed in Colorado, I decided to finish up and get my license. So I'm a certified special educator for the state of Colorado. The kids were going to school, everything was good. And then one of the kids actually ended up struggling emotionally in middle school. So it was decided that I would stay home to make sure that she's staying safe and going to her appointments and everything like that. But I struggled to find a job that would accommodate our schedule. So I chose to start tutoring. I actually started face to face at the library here in town and going to my clients' homes. That was in 2013. And then I just wasn't feeling like I was accomplishing enough. I wanted to help more kids. So I researched and I actually asked one of my parents, because she worked at home, if we could kind of practice in her home. I took my laptop to her home, and my student went to a different room, and we kind of practiced in her in her house for my first student online. So ever since then, she's been my first online student back in 2017. So of course, when COVID hit, I was already prepared and everything was under control. I haven't had any trouble since. So now Castle Rock Online Reading Tutor has expanded to help other teachers, other tutors expand their business and become online. So, Online Reading Tutor Academy is an academy of sorts that you would be able to meet with me face to face on Zoom for 8 straight weeks and learn how to set up your tutoring business, whether it's face to face now that COVID has simmered down a little bit, or even online. So I do offer a tutor box that has all of my printables and everything in there. But um, so that's how I got started tutoring. So that if you have any questions, put them over there in the comments, and I would love to answer anything. Um,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. You've definitely had an eventful journey, it sounds like. So, were you always, it sounds like you were face to face in the beginning, but then you switched to online. Is that right?
that's correct. That's correct.
So, what's, I mean, obviously COVID, but what made you, other than COVID, what made you want to do the switch online?
Well, being a partner with my husband that needed to pay the bills, we all need to pay the bills. I wanted to increase helping more children around, um, not only in town, but across the United States. Currently, I have students in Florida, in North Carolina. I had a couple in St. Louis. I have one in California. And then along with that, I help tutors create their own businesses. So I chose to go online so I would be able to help and support more families.
Mhm. And what did you, what's the difference between tutoring online versus tutoring in person in terms of tutoring skills, resources, etc.?
Um, that was a big question with me being a special educator. We're always working with manipulatives and moving things around. Well, it was easy to come by because there's always an online, like I offer online books at their kids' levels to every family that I work with. There is a letter board that we can use and move around the screen. Um, there's also, I provide a book for each student to be able to write in and spell, learn how to spell and writing sentences. So the more multisensory um, learning reading is the better. So that's what I do. There's a lot of things online, and as well as the um, the writing and everything.
So, okay, so what is your demographics? What ages do you tutor? What grades?
I normally tutor like kindergarten through sixth grade. So, what, age 6, I start, and up to um, my joy is second grade, second and third grade, because that's where the big gaps come. And so, if they're not getting any intensive services from kindergarten up to second grade, um, there's a big gap, usually second, third grade. So that's where most of my students are currently, is second, third grade.
When you say big gaps, what do you mean?
Um, when like when your child starts kindergarten and they're learning the letters and the letter sounds and starting to blend them together, and then in first grade it's more sight words and trying to get reading a story, reading the book, and the fluency. And then moving on to second grade, where it's still learning to read, but in third grade, you are reading to learn. So it's that big gap of where, if their comprehension is not up to where it needs to be, if their fluency is not allowing them to comprehend the material, um, and then even the decoding of the words, if it's not up to grade level, then that's where parents are nervous and look for a tutor, and that's where I come in.
So you're saying around second and third grade is when you start to notice if students are behind on grade level.
Normally that's where you would find, um, for example, my grandson is in first grade, but we noticed he had delays starting in preschool. So I could also help a child that has already been identified um, in kindergarten and up towards higher level.
Hmm. So, so how do you determine if a child is behind grade level? What do you look for?
When I do an initial assessment, and I always offer a free initial assessment, um, parents might think they should know the alphabet. Well, the first thing I have the student do is say the alphabet. They can usually say it. The little jingle, helps them. But then I ask them, write the alphabet down in lowercase letters, because when they start writing letters, usually it is capital letters. Um, some kids need to start A, B, C, D, and then they start over again, A, B, C, D, E. Oh, what comes next? When I'm watching that child get stuck writing that alphabet, even if they're in the second grade, that's a sign. The other thing I do is I have a stack of flashcards that I go through, and if they know the sounds of the letters, um, that is also a big thing. So that's how I assess each student I work with.
Mm. So you have, um, I don't know if your state has this, but here in New York State, um, the Common Core, there's like a predetermined set of skills that a student is supposed to follow for each grade. So I don't know if you have something like that in your state.
We do. The state of Colorado also does the Common Core. Um, and there are um, for the Department of Education what things that a kindergarten needs to know, what things a first grader needs to know, and so on. But reading is I think, a universal skill. So if they miss the younger learning skills, the basic things, it will be difficult to catch up and continue in the grades and the Common Core standards.
Mm, all right. So you just focus on reading, right? Do you do reading and writing or just reading?
No, mostly I do reading. I do encompass like a little bit of spelling along with it, to make sure that they, like, for example, sight words are, everybody says, well, you just need to memorize them. But if they're able to read them, that's great. But do they know how to spell them? So I have my little tricks that I can show my students how to spell those words that are sometimes difficult to learn.
Like what? Can you give an example?
Like the word have, HAVE. Usually that E on the end makes the vowel say its name, correct? Well, come to find out, during all of my training and everything, um, the V, there aren't any words in the English language that end in V. If can you think of any? Mm-mm. Love, have, give, they all end in E. So they put that E, what I tell my students, they put that E to make it look pretty. But that V is almost like vase. So we don't want it to tip over. So they put that E next to it to help it stand up. And that is just one of the things that I let my students know when we're learning some of the words. And have is one of the what they call red words in my training. So sight words, red words, high frequency words. There's a lot of terminology. So um, that is just one of the tricks that I tell my kids.
Hmm. So now let me ask you this, because this is a challenge that I face sometimes when you have like a fifth grader or a sixth grader, and you see that they're on the third grade level, right? Do you, how much time do you focus on catching them up versus how much time do you focus on what they're doing in school?
Um, well, like homework, things like that. I start at where they're at. My initial assessment tells me where they're at. So we work on the phonics, we work on the sentence writing, and we read stories at their level. One, once you work at their level, you see the growth because the confidence is coming up and doing what they do in school. Um, I don't really work on things that they do in school. Um, I do talk to parents if they have a lot of homework and it's taken hours upon hours upon hours to do homework. I kind of have a talk with the parents to talk to their teacher and just let them know that it's taking hours to do homework. Normally it's like 3 minutes a grade level. So, like third grade, it should take a half hour to get your homework done, plus the 20 minutes of reading every night. So, I don't really do what they are doing in their classroom. I work on where they're at to build their confidence, and you see faster growth when they're confident and succeeding. So that's
That's an interesting thing you said there. You don't really do what they're doing in school. Can you talk about that more?
um for example, I do have a, what is she's our he is going into the fourth grade next year, actually. When I first started working with him, he didn't know the ch, or the sh. Well, if that student that's in the third grade can't read and they have homework that they need to do, if their homework isn't at their level, then it's really hard to get done. Um, I don't spend time on doing things that's hard for them to do. I do things that help them progress so that they are able to do those tough things. Now, that student that was struggling with the sh and the ch is now reading on grade level. His fluency is on grade level. And it took, I don't know, every student is different, how long it takes to progress and get on that grade level. Parents think it's an overnight thing, but it's, with the kids I work with, it's not really overnight. So we try and work as a team, um, getting the parents involved and helping the student, and as well as the teacher, because if the teacher should understand that the student is struggling. So if maybe they have a spelling list, I could possibly help with that, but then it would take time out of my instruction to help them become confident readers.
Mm. And therein lies one of the challenges of tutoring. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with, doing what you want to do versus what the parent wants you to do?
I've had a couple parent suggestions for the summertime. Usually, the summertime is like fun activities. Well, all my kids have decided to stay for the summer. Plus, I have gotten, my phone has been ringing off the hook for summertime. Um, so, what my plan is just to continue what I'm doing. A couple of the parents have asked if I could increase like a certain subject matter, like comprehension or writing, into my lessons, which I already do. Um, so I am just going to keep it as is. They will see the progress of their student, and they won't slide when the school year begins again in August and September.
All right. So it sounds like you make a compromise.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Um, we do work on everything based on reading, so um, they just won't see the slide that without it during the summer, that most kids or most families see.
Mm, interesting, interesting. All right, so let's get into the way that your business is set up. So, um, are you do you work for yourself? Do you have employees? Tell us about that.
I have worked for myself for, well, it's been what, 9 years this fall. But since my phone has been ringing off the hook, I have actually, a teacher called me and asked if I needed some help. Well, since my phone has been ringing off the hook, I planned to meet. We actually chatted over Zoom a couple of times, and we get to go have coffee on Friday, and I get to learn more about her and her family, and what my expectations are for her to take on a couple of these summertime kiddos.
Hmm. So, would you are you considering taking her on?
Yep, yep. Um, she has 8 years of background in elementary education, and she has just started her family, and they just moved into my town. So I just thought it was I don't know. I never thought I would, well, she's going to be contracted. So I never thought that I would have another person because I run my business my kind of, my way. And I never thought of hiring someone. But then a couple friends of mine have hired for their businesses and said, it's kind of neat just having someone else tutor and you're sitting back. So I'm just not used to just sitting back.
Ah, so that's going to be an adjustment for you.
It is. And then I began to thought, when I first started tutoring face to face, my business was Castle Rock Tutoring. So I was thinking, if this summer goes okay, maybe I will do a little bit of expansion into different subjects, math, whatever, and just go back to the Castle Rock tutoring. So we'll see.
Oh, wait, so you're confident that you can tutor math, or would you hire someone to tutor that?
I would definitely hire someone to do that. When those numbers and letters come together, that's where I kind of find somebody else to.
So right now, what are you a sole proprietor, LLC? What's your setup?
I'm a sole proprietor, and I just met with my tax person the other day and said, should I go to an LLC, or because of the person I'm thinking of adding, she has a place in her home that's right off the front door. That's like an office that she has set up for like tutoring. So I don't know. It's like, should I get liability? The insurance thing to make sure everything is okay. Well, my tax person said no. Don't worry about the LLC. I'm gonna stay the sole proprietor until maybe I earn a little bit more, and then we'll kind of meet and find out what I can do beyond that.
Hmm, interesting. So the more the more you earn, the more um and the more you want to do and the more you want to expand, the more complicated things will get for you in terms of taxes.
That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. I don't, even now, it's crazy.
All right. So what do I want to ask you now? All right. So what tell us more about well, are you comfortable talking about how much you charge your parents? You can give a range if you want.
Well, when I started tutoring. I didn't charge that much. I recently became certified in Orton-Gillingham, so I believe I know what I do and have seen kids grow effectively. So, depending on how many days a week I see your child would depend on the cost.
Okay. So, and it sounds like you don't want to give any numbers. So, do you give like discounts? Like the more often you see the child, they get a % off?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, because I'm still writing up lesson plans and making sure that I'm following it's not a curriculum, but I'm following an avenue that will show success. Um, so if I had a sibling family, I I offer um, discounts for families. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just want to clarify, are you still doing face-to-face tutoring or you're completely done with that?
I am completely online. Um, the individual that I may be hiring, she will do some face to face because there are some younger kids that would probably do better face to face. But we'll see how it works out.
All righty. All right. So what what do you think is what do you think is the the worst parts about the tutoring industry?
The worst parts? I don't know. I love what I do. I've been doing it for 9 years. Um, the worst parts. I would say when everybody's home and they're all on the internet and the internet goes out, I think that would be one worst part. Um, worst parts. I don't know. I've been lucky, I guess. I love what I do and my families are amazing. I keep in contact with some of my first kids. One just graduated from college. Um, I don't know. I enjoy what I do.
Sounds awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right. So we're going to start to wind things down. So, do you have any final words, or do you have any words of wisdom for someone who wants to become a tutor or start a tutoring business? What words of wisdom do you want to share? Maybe it's something you wish you knew when you started, whatever you want to say. So for someone who says, I want to be a tutor, I want to start a tutoring business, what words of wisdom would you share?
Some of the teachers that I talk to are really nervous about starting a tutoring business because they're afraid that there aren't enough students out there because there's so many tutors out there nowadays. Well, the kids need us. Don't be afraid, or do it scared is one statement that I've heard. Do it scared, get out there and let your parents know, your community, your village know that you're starting a tutoring business, and just get out there and do it.
All right. Simply put. Simply
Just do
put.
it.
Let's do it. All right. So, Anne, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to put up your banner here. All right, you guys. So, Anne Mitchell, she is all over that social media. You can find her. She has a Facebook page, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube. She is pretty much everywhere. So, follow her on social media. Definitely stay in touch with her. And if you are looking for those reading services, Her website is there, www.castlerockonlinereadingtutor.com. So all of that information is scrolling below at the bottom of your screen. And I also want to share that she has an online reading tutor academy. She has a Facebook group, and she has a website dedicated to that as well. And can you talk more about your tutor academy?
My online reading tutor academy is something kind of new and dear to my heart because over the years, teachers have contacted me to help get started in a tutoring business. And I always recommended a certain Facebook site or another person that was doing it. And I told myself, well, why don't you just do it like you tell everybody else? So, what I've done, and my link is below, I also have a Facebook group. Um, and on the website that's coming up, you can get on there, and there is 3 different offerings. I offer just a one-on-one hour like consultation just to get started, and or else I offer a VIP package that um like I mentioned earlier, for 8 weeks we would chat on Zoom face to face for an hour a week so we can get your business up and going. And then I'm in the process, you can see it on the website, of creating a course that will be just like my VIP package, but without truly me. So you could go through the course, learn what you need to do, and go on and create your tutoring business. But if you are like me that needs someone face to face to help you maybe get the technology under your belt or how to get your students, um, that's where the VIP package comes in. So just go on my website and look at the 3 different options, and I hope to chat with someone soon.
All right, you guys, you heard it yourself. So if you want to start a tutoring business, you want that consultation, that one-on-one assistance, you can reach out to Anne. You can join her tutor academy. Um, and so is it just, do you focus on certain subjects, or is it just like tutoring in general?
Um, it could be certain subjects, but I mainly focus on reading tutors because I have a list of websites that I can share, and that's where my background is.
Okay, so you have a niche, right? You have
Yes. Yes.
a specific group that you target. So for those of you who want to become reading tutors, definitely reach out to her. Her information is below. She has an academy, so you get to learn how to set things up. So definitely take advantage of that. And I also so you have a YouTube channel, and I wanted to share a piece of that. So I'm just gonna share my screen here. Share audio. Okay. Um, Hopefully this works, but there's a part where you talk about scheduling. So I'm going to play that. Let's see if we can get this going.
I am going to, and then Thursday, I'm thinking about posting some videos on LinkedIn or getting more involved in Pinterest. And then Fridays are my weekly emails. So I'm hoping, like after school is right here. Right now, I have my online tutor show is right here, and then I have little notes. There's room underneath here, little notes to tell me I need to be more consistent. So that's what helps me stay organized and schedule and on top of it. Other than that, um, I use GoodNotes to create, like, if I'm taking a course, I will put all the downloads into a notebook onto GoodNotes. I couldn't share it or couldn't figure out how to screen share GoodNotes on here, but when it comes to my block scheduling, I will attach this down below and you can have a free copy. Okay, whether or not you use it is up to you. Um,
All right, I am going to pause right there. Okay. All righty. All right, so if you guys want to watch more of that episode, it is on her YouTube channel. And for those of you watching this episode on our YouTube channel, her information will be in the description. All right, so Anne, thank you so much. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to place you backstage now. And it is just you and me, guys. Let me put up my banner here. All right. And we have reached the conclusion of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Wherever you are watching this episode right now, we are in a lot of places. We're in a lot of places on social media. We're also on our website. So wherever you are watching this episode, please check out our platform for more videos and clips. And don't forget to follow us. And while you're at it, let us know what you thought about this episode by leaving a comment in the comment section below or in the comment thread. And as a reminder, this web series is a production of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. If you would like to learn more about us, our company, what we're about, the services that we have to offer, if you're looking for tutoring yourself, whatever it is, you can visit us online. Our information is below, but I will say our website, www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. And you might be thinking, wait, didn't you just promote another tutoring company? Listen, we are all colleagues here in the same space. It is all love here. So you have a couple of resources. You have us, and you have Ann Mitchell. So we're all love here, right? So not competition, colleagues. All right, but I will say this: we do have a special promotion going on right now. If you mention that you heard about us from Hot Topics, you will get a 15% discount. So definitely take advantage of that. So again, if you reach out to, I should say when you reach out to us and you say, hey, I heard about you from Hot Topics, boom, 15% discount. So definitely take advantage of that. And I also encourage you to sign up for our email list and our texting list. Those links are also below at the bottom of your screen. And for those of you watching this on YouTube, it is also in our description. You will receive special promotions, discounts, special announcements. You'll hear about all that great stuff when you sign up for our email list and our texting list. So I definitely encourage you to take advantage of all those things. And you have multiple tutoring resources. You have us, you have Castle Rock Reading Tutor. I think that's what it is. So I encourage you to keep all of these resources handy and don't be afraid to look for a tutor. All right, and that is it for our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today, and Gabrielle, look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Thank you again. And now I am signing off. Arrivederci.